my name is Melissa from Big Universe Music, and today we're going to do a guitar lesson on Old Man by Neil Young. I'm going to show you how I use my acoustic guitar to play Old Man, and I'm also going to demonstrate how you can use an Aeroband guitar to explore different instruments like the bass and the banjo in a song like Old Man. There's going to be a lot of information in this video, so make sure to visit the link in the description below so that you can download the PDF worksheet for you to follow along with everything I'm teaching in this video. Be sure to also find the timestamps in the description below if you'd like to jump around to different sections of this lesson. All right, go ahead and grab your guitar and let's get started. Let's start learning Old Man by going over what chords you're going to need to know in order to be able to play the song. You'll need to be able to play the D chord. You'll also need to be able to play this strange chord that you can pretend you're playing the D major chord, but begin it on the 5th fret, and then just simply lift up your middle finger and your pointer finger. You'll need to know the F chord, the C chord, the G chord, the A minor 7 chord, and the E minor 7 chord. Some other skills that you need to be able to play this song are to be able to do hammer-ons. Practice your hammer-ons starting with the D chord. Strum the D chord as your pointer finger is lifted up and then add it back down to string 3. Then try it with your middle finger. So same thing, but lift up your middle finger on the 1st string and add it back down after you strum. You'll also have to be able to do a pull-off from D sus4 back to D. So you're going to add your pinky to the 1st string 3rd fret as you strum, and then lift it away after you strum. Okay, again, our chords are D. Interesting D chord with the hammer on. That we'll go over later. F, C, G, A minor 7, E minor 7, and our D sus4 with the pull-off. All right, let's put those into the song, starting with the intro. We're going to start up here on the 5th fret for that interesting chord where all we're going to do is play our ring finger on fret 6 of the 2nd string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our middle finger or your pointer will hammer on string 3 of fret 5. It'll sound like this. Strum through the strings and add your pointer finger. My right hand is just going to go down, up, 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 down, up. Hammer. Off on. Off on. Off on. Okay, so that's the first couple measures of the intro. Again, here's how it goes. And then we'll bring it down to the D chord. And there we'll do 2 down strums on D into the down, up, so down, 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 do our hammer on and pull off series from the D sus4 back to the D to D sus2 and add your pointer finger back on. It sounds complicated when I explain it, but it's really pretty easy. Here's a close-up. And here's the intro. Again. And that brings us to the singing part. So make sure you practice that intro before you go on to the next section. Pause the video now if you need to. When Neil's singing starts, we're going to keep the exact same pattern going. For this part, we change the strumming pattern and we get into our verse. So here's where our D chord comes into play. And I like to do down strums for this part, so down, 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 up. And here it is, down, 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 up, F chord, C chord, G chord. When I hit the C chord, or maybe the G chord, you can try some hammer-ons and pull-offs. Just try doing them on the chord tones that are already being played in the song. So like for C, you can do... See how I'm just pacing around the C chord? And for G, same thing. And I kind of tend to fit those in randomly as I'm singing because, you know, when you start singing, you can get a little muddled. But listen super closely to the recording for more accuracy. Line of the verse for but I'm all alone at last, rolling home to you. We switch that F chord and the C chord, so we play the C chord first. But I'm all alone at last, rolling home to you. Okay, here's that verse again. Old man, look at my life. 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. So the rhythm there, if you want, you can play around with matching the rhythm of the strum to how you're singing it. Makes me think of two. Or maybe you wanted to simplify it. Makes me think of two. Back to D. Such a cost. Give me things that won't get lost. Like a chord, C chord roll. Okay, before we get into the chorus, we're going to play a little bit of some instrumental, starting with our D chord. A minor 7. And G. All right, let me do that again for you. Start with D. How about this simplified? Just down strums. And then we're into our chorus. Start with the D chord. D. A minor 7, B minor 7, G. A minor 7, B minor 7, G. And back to our palm muty thing for our instrumental here. For ooh. Add your hammer-ons. All right, that little instrumental bit is D, F, C, G, hammers, D, F, C, F. And then we're into our second verse. Second verse, same as the first. F, C, G, D, F, C, F. I think I sang the second verse for the first one early. Don't forget that for the last line, you swap those chords. That's a cool little thing. That's simple change makes a big difference. So D, C, F, G. Then our instrumental before we go into the chorus, D, A minor 7. Our instrumental where the banjo comes in. And then into our chorus. And now we get to do our outro, which is the same as the intro, sliding all the way up. Awesome. Okay, so that's the general arrangement of the song. And let's grab the Aeroband guitar and see if we can play around with the banjo sound and maybe a little of the bass. Okay, we're gonna explore the bass and the banjo parts in Old Man using the Aeroband guitar. Now, I like to play around with this, and thanks to Aeroband for sending this over to me to share with everyone, because I do not have a banjo, nor do I have a bass. So when I chose to do Old Man today, I thought it'd be kind of fun to look at what we can do with the Aeroband guitar at home in your own practice. So this is a digital guitar that has a speaker, and it also has these silicone strings, so it doesn't actually have strings. These are essentially soft, raised buttons, I think. It has the ability to change the instrument up here as well as the tuning. So if you prefer to play with a capo, you can play along with that. And it's got a drum kit button as well as volume. You play the right hand strings as you normally would, except for these mute buttons. So if you want to mute the strings, you have to press your hand down on this little button here. All you have to do is touch this button and it'll mute the strings. The Aeroband guitar is super fun. My friends love to mess around with it when they come over to jam because it's got a lot of cool features and it sounds pretty cool. So let's turn it on and see what it does. So I think this guitar is really great for someone who has pain like arthritis or maybe carpal tunnel in their hands and still wants to play and practice or maybe if you're a musician who wants to write, but like I said, like if you've been playing a lot and your hands really hurt and you're trying to do some like protective therapeutic practice, this is a really great thing to have around because you can still do your work, but it doesn't have the same stress on your fingers like an acoustic or an electric guitar would. So I've been playing it when my hands get sore from weekends of long gigs, and also when I need to play an instrument that I don't own. Okay, so we've turned it on and now we're going to play with the sound selection. So I'm pressing the button up on the top and I'm able to choose a few different guitar sounds. As well as a piano sound, a bass sound, which is what I'm going to use today, and a banjo sound, which I will also use today. Just for fun, let's play the intro that we just learned of Old Man and see how it sounds on this digital guitar. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna set it up on the bass sound. One thing I love about the bass part in Old Man is that it's really simple, definitely simple enough for a beginner bassist or someone playing the guitar to be able to play. The intro starts by playing really long whole notes. Alternating between the 5th fret of the A string and the 3rd fret of the D string. Then when we get into the verse, we start doing a little more movement. Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I won't look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Cool, and then we get into our chorus. Take a look at my life, I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I won't look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Awesome, so that's been fun for me to work with and also practice kind of my bass skills. I do borrow basses sometimes for gigs, so this is a great way for me to practice the sounds and the frets without having to purchase a whole nother rig. All right, y'all, let's keep going. Let's set up the Aeroband to have a banjo sound and nail this banjo part in Old Man. Just for fun, let's turn on this drum groove and see if I can stay with it. I'm going to change the drum groove sound by pressing this button here. That one might work if I slow it down. All right, we'll go back to this one. Oops, missed it. And then I'm going to slow it down by pressing here. All right, let's try with the beat. Awesome. Okay, so that's about all of the parts that I can do with the Aeroband guitar and my guitar. Please make sure to download the link below And you can even play the parts that we are trying with the Aeroband on your guitar at home, or pick up one of these. Thanks so much to Aeroband for allowing me to review this smart guitar and supporting my efforts of teaching all of you out there how to play the guitar so that you can bring the joy of music into your life. This is Melissa from Big Universe Music, and I hope that you have a great time playing Old Man. I'll see you in the next lesson.